Hello, I'm back. Apologies, it's been a while since I've made an OCR paper. I have changed schools, changed exam boards, but I am committed to finishing off this paper and trying to make sure that I get OCR, Edexcel, and AQA done. Another Maths with Lloydie video, of course. Like, subscribe, comment. Here are the grade boundaries. So if you've done the first two papers, you may be looking at how many marks you've gathered, and when you think 40% on these papers for a grade 4 is that benchmark, it's very doable. So keep up the work. So let's get this paper done. Paper 3, traditionally quite wordy. Calculator is allowed on this one. Normally there's a calculator symbol, but it doesn't have it. It just says you can use the calculator. So question 1. Feel free to pause these videos if you want to have a go at them and then mark them after I've done that. So I'll just show you the question so you can read it. So in the survey, some students choose their favourite type of film from a list of 5. The bar chart shows the results. How many students chose action? So we've got 3 and 7, which makes 10. So 10 chose the action films. How many Year 11 students chose action films? Well, that's a 7 for their bar. So 7. What type of films was chosen by the most Year 10 students? So that means which Year 10 bar is the biggest, which is this one. So this is rom-com. Rom-com. How many Year 10 students took part in the survey? So there's 3, 2, 5, 7, and 3. 5, you would write this down lower. You'll probably have this in a nice booklet where you can see both pages, but I can't. So you have to write that down, although I'm going to put that in the calculator to make sure that I'm taking no risks. We don't want arithmetic errors on a calculator paper. That makes 20. So you've got to write down your calculations as you go through a calculator paper. So that's 20. 45 students took part in the survey. Write the ratio. So Year 10 students is 20. 45 take away 20 equals 25, which means there's 25 Year 11 students. Then we need to give it in its simplest form. So we can divide both of these by 5, and that gives us 4 to 5. And that's question 1 done. Question 2. You will need to be very careful with this first part of the question. So on my calculator, I've got to hit Shift in order to get the square root button. But I'm going to have a look at one of the class quizzes and see what that's doing. We actually have a square root button. So we can hit square root 196. Just do that on my calculator as I go, square root 196. And then you need to hit the right key. You need to hit the right key to get out of the square root bit. Because if you don't, you're going to have the plus 29 bit inside of the square root, which isn't what we want. And that gives us the answer of 43. Now for this next one, we're looking for a button. We're going to hit 4. So you hit the 4 key. And then you're going to have a button that's got an X, top right, like that. And then you'll put the 5 in. So that will make 4 to the power of 5 on your calculator. And that makes 1024. So that's question 2 done. Question 3. Do pause the video and have a go. This is a nice 6 marker. But show you're working as we go through this. So we've got 150 coins in a jar. It's 150 total. I'm just going to rewrite this question. 20% are 10p, 3/10, 20p, and then finally the rest of 50p. Work out the total value of the coins. So first of all, 150 times by 0.2. And put that in the calculator. That's 30. And then if we times that by 0.1, we're going to find the value. So that's 3, which is £3 in 10 pences. Okay, 150 is then going to be divided by 10 and multiplied by 3. That's going to find 3/10. So 150 divided by 10 times by 3, that's 45. And then we multiply that by 0.2, and that's £9. Right, the rest. So that means we have to do 150 take away the outcome of 30 plus 45, because we've used those up. 30 plus 45 is 75. 150 take away 75 gives us 75. And then we're going to multiply that by 0.5 to find the value of it. And that's £37.50. And then finally, we add all of those up. I'm just going to show that I'm plussing them. Plus 3, plus 9. And we are at £49.50. Easy 6 marks. Question 4. So, a sports team played the same number of matches in 2019 and 2020. The two pie charts summarise their results. What fraction of these matches did the team win in 2019? So we've got that 90-degree symbol there, meaning it's 90 out of 360, but it's also known as a quarter. Did the team's results improve in 2020? Explain how you know. Well, yes, they did, because they played the same number of fixtures in each year, and they won a half in 2020. And a half is greater than a quarter. Normally they want you to say, I don't know, because we don't know any of the values. But that key sentence in the question saying a sports team played the same number of matches in each year means that we know that increase from a quarter to a half means they won more. Okay, that's question 4 done. Question 5, increase 600 by 17%. So we're going to multiply it by 100% plus 17%, which makes 117%. And then as a decimal, that makes 1.17. 1.17 times by 600, 702. And that's our answer. Question 6. So the diagram shows how a rhombus is made by joining two equilateral triangles. Find the size of each interior angle. Well, here we've got 60, 60, 60. So this will also be the same. So we've got 60, 120, 120, 60. I don't think it matters what order you put them in, but just put them in. The same rhombus can be made by joining two copies of an isosceles triangle. So what we can do with this is just do that split across there. Ignore the one that's going top left to bottom right. And we'd have one with 120, 30 and 30, and then that's duplicated below. So the angles would be 30, 30 and 120. Question 7. Rowan's bath has a hot tap and a cold tap. When turned on full, each tap on its own can fill a bath in 6 minutes. Now, I've just revealed the answer. Oh no. So 2 taps, they're going to work twice as hard. So we're multiplying that by 2, and this is inverse proportion. So it will take 3 minutes. It's like saying if I've got 5 people to build a wall and it takes 5 hours, 10 people building the wall will not take 10 hours. It will take 2.5 because you've got double the power and therefore half the time to do it. That's question 7 done. Okay, question 8. So I'm going to use a highlighter. I need to highlight to you that you should be very careful using a highlighter pen because when your exam is scanned in, the examiner can't really read what's gone under the highlighter. So it kind of gets lost. This is not helping. Why is it not working? Okay, so let's start again. One there, one there. That's all I'll do. I won't highlight the others because we can see that we've got 5t and minus t. So that gives us 4t. And then our 2 highlighted bits, minus 3 minus 5 gives us minus 8. So we have take away 8u. Question number 9. So we've got a Venn diagram. We've got one set which is odd numbers and the other set is multiples of 5. It wants us to complete the Venn diagram to show all of the elements. Please ignore the voice break. It's been a long week. So starting off with 1 and 2, they've been done. 3 is odd. 4 is neither odd nor a multiple of 5, but 5 will go in there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will come into here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 into the middle, and then 16. So we've got quite a few elements on the outside. This was a horrible question to mark, I imagine, for any examiner. But on the left-hand side, we've got all the odd numbers except for 5 and 15, which are in the intersection. So that's part A done. Scrolling over to the next page, we've got 3 Venn diagrams numbered 1 to 3 as shown below. Which diagram best shows the relationship between set L and set M? Give a reason for your choice. Now, odd numbers on the left, multiples of 2 on the right. I am afraid it's going to be Venn diagram number 2. And that's because you cannot have a number that is a multiple of 2 and be odd. They are mutually exclusive. There we go. Question 10. So a student has some cubes that are all the same size. They're 3 by 3 by 3. They put 4 of these cubes together to make the shape, calculate the surface area. So we want to know the area of all of the faces. So we've got, I'm going to call this the front, we'll call that F. We've got the side elevation, and then we've got the plan view, which is coming from the top. So for the front, we've got 4 faces, and each face, 3 by 3, they are 9 centimeters squared. So 4 times by 9 will give us that front elevation. 4, calculator's gone to sleep, wake up. That's 36. And then there's going to be a multiplication of 2 because we've got the back to look at as well. So that's 72. Now the side elevation, we can only see 2 faces. So from the side, we're going to multiply the 9 by 2, which is 18. And then that gets multiplied by 2 again, giving us 36. The plan view, we can see 1, 2, 3. That means that if we were to look at it from below, we'd see 3 faces as well. So 3 times by 9 is 27, times by 2 is 54. And then finally, we've got to add these together. 72 plus 36 plus 54. Just going to add some plus signs to show my intention to add. And that's 162. And they've put the units in for us, which is nice. 162 centimeters squared. So question 11, the last one we're going to do before we save the video and start to upload it. From the list above, write down an example of each of the following. So an expression, that will be something without an equal sign on it. So an expression is A plus 2B. So there's no equal sign. Equal is normally meaning an equation with one unknown. An inequality, so we've got 2y is less than x. So we're looking for these sorts of symbols within an inequality. Now, an equation, sometimes you can have more than one unknown. That'll be a simultaneous one. But this one here is not an equation. That's a formula. It's one of the Suvat equations, which is about motion. Now, we do have 2 equations there. So you could have 2x equals 5. Actually, this is a trick. This one is not an equation because if we expand that left-hand side, we get 3x plus 6. And that one's known as an identity. So we can put, oh, goodness me, a 3-lined equal sign in between it to say that these two are always equal. So that one is not an equation, so don't fall into that trap. But the 2x equals 5 is.